The views, opinions and information expressed during Youth Services podcast series are solely those of individuals involved. Any recommendations or advice during the podcast is general in nature and does not replace the need to seek professional advice. If you are in need of urgent assistance, please call 000 or the Kids Helpline on 1800 55 1800. Welcome to Casey Youth Services podcast. I'm Ellie and I'm a youth worker from the city of Casey. And joining me today are members of my incredible team, Taryn.
Hey guys.
And Taylor.
Hi.
This month's episode, we are doing something a little bit different and we're going to be answering some of the questions that have been sent in by young people who frequent our youth information centres. We hope you enjoy, and if you have any burning questions, we would love to hear from you too. All right, let's get started.
Okay, so our first question is, what do you like about being a youth worker?
Go, Taryn.
That is a really good question. So one thing that I really enjoy about being a youth worker is obviously connecting with young people and having, those meaningful conversations. And what I really enjoy is seeing the small progress and the small wins. So being in the centre, in the youth centres, we're able to see young people come in and see their growth over time, and I really enjoy that. I also really enjoy running programs that young people enjoy, and
Yeah, I was going to say with the growth over time, I think that's the most rewarding part of it, is just getting to see young people thrive and meet their best potential, and just even just hearing, I really enjoyed today, or I had fun today, or any sort of small amount of joy that we can bring young people, I find extremely rewarding. I think that's my favourite part. And just seeing them achieve what they want to, especially if you've sort of helped in some way for them to achieve achieve their goals.
Yeah.
What about you, Ellie?
I couldn't agree more. And I definitely think there's aspects of both of your answer that I can agree with. But just making that connection with young people and kind of being that support network, just knowing that we provide a safe space for them if they aren't able to find that. And I love just hearing about their lives and having a good time with them and helping them. I think I just love to help people. So just being able to connect with them and help them, as you said, Tay, achieve their goals.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's just a really, really small thing, like finding out what they want to be when they get older, or, they want to beat a level on a game, or just, small things to larger goals, anything, helping in any way.
Exactly, and showing them that they're capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Our next question is, how did you both cope during, we're still going through it, COVID lockdowns?
But I know the lockdowns have been pretty tough for, most of us. It's been a bit of a juggling act for me because I have an 8-year-old at home, so I've been having to put my teacher's hat on. So that was, that's no small feat. But also I guess it's been a little bit tough, but I'm also practicing those small acts of self-care and self-love, I guess, whether it be taking a break from the computer, playing a game of Scrabble with my son, or going for a walk when the weather is good out in nature. It helps to sort of uplift the spirit. Also, just practicing gratitude has really helped me heaps in this time, helped us both heaps, actually. I guess I just, feel a bit fortunate to still be able to work from home. But it does get a little bit tough sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. I did struggle a lot during the lockdown socially. My friends don't really do messages and things like that on Facebook or Instagram. They're more in-person type people, if that makes sense. So yeah. I did miss my friends. I did a few different things. I went for walks, and I probably watched every single show on Netflix. And
Yes.
I feel like every time I watch Netflix shows, it's never the shows that everyone else wants you to watch, or is what everyone else is watching.
Yeah.
Going for runs around the lake, exercise challenges, Netflix binging. I really enjoyed spending a lot more time with my pets. Like, they absolutely adore it. They follow me room to room. I have a dog and a cat, Scooby and Misty. So, yeah, they love being near me, and I think they've really appreciated it. I think they were a big part of my coping. Yeah.
Yeah, having that constant support and comfort around you, hey?
Yeah.
As well, same with me, similar things. I did just a lot of exercise. I was lucky enough to be able to go for walks and things like that with one other person. I did some cooking. So even this time, I'm learning some life skills, but also it's dangerous because then you just eat all of the things that you're making.
Yes.
So pretty much just exercise and eat. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, same with you, Tay. Like I love watching TV shows and movies and things like that. I definitely think that's my downtime because I've tried meditation and it doesn't work for me. But yeah, just normal things, just exercise. And I think being online as well with our team, the team bondings, like catching up with everybody and playing games and things like that together was really helpful, even though we were at home and we weren't all together, and obviously with the young people, we still had that type of connection.
Yeah, and I love that we've, during those team bonding times, we can all see each other's face and, play little games, doing virtual puzzles and things. That's something that I introduced with my family. So we, get together and do, a virtual puzzle or play Scribble, and we all really enjoy it, and the kids love it too, so.
And you always win, hey?
Always. No.
I know what you mean about the cooking. I literally made scones yesterday.
Yum.
Yum, you're making me hungry.
I know.
Okay, I'll go to the next question. What do you think life will be like for young people in 2029? It's a very specific year.
It is, isn't it? Wait, what year are we in now? 2021. So 8 years from now. Oh my gosh.
How old will I be?
Yes, let's not talk about that, okay?
My imagination is running wild. Hopefully no more COVID, and I wonder if we'll have flying cars or hoverboards by then.
I doubt it.
They wondered that in the 80s, remember, in Back to the Future?
Yes.
I'm still waiting for my hoverboard, all right? I'm still waiting.
We all are. I know they made the shoes. The shoes that do up themselves.
Oh, yeah, and the Teslas.
Yeah, they did a reference to Back to the Future, and they actually made those shoes. So there you go. Maybe we'll have something else from the movie by 2029.
I'll have to link that in the description.
Yeah.
I need those shoes.
Yeah, I'll have to find them.
I'll be honest, 2029, it's really not that far away. And we live in such a technology soaked environment. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though young people love, even me, I'm not that old, everyone. I definitely think social media is very addictive. And not everyone. My hat comes off to people that don't scroll through their phone because they can find other things to do. And I hope that it kind of washes away so that people can kind of connect more with one another. I definitely think there'll be more opportunities watching the world now, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the podcast. But I definitely think there'll be more inclusion and things like that for young people. People will be more accepted and educated and things like that. So I definitely think, I'm hoping it's going to be a nicer place for young people, and there'll be opportunities and endless opportunities, for them to kind of go through, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the road to acceptance on a lot of issues is moving very, very quickly. However, with things being solved, there's always new issues arising. So there'll probably be a different thing we're focusing on, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Is constantly improving and identifying what needs to be changed, because a lot of the time society doesn't even realize what needs to be changed until someone speaks up about it. So I guess we'll just have to take everything as it comes and tackle one thing at a time, and hopefully in the next 8 years, things will be better. And we keep improving. Yeah. And as you said, Ali, with social media, I think there'll be a different social media platform because that always seems to update itself every few years. Originally it was MySpace.
Oh my gosh,
revealing
MySpace.
my age here. Did you say Bebo?
Yeah, I did.
Yes. I remember
I
Bebo.
never used that.
Really? They had a theme song for it. Bebo, Bebo, you got it.
I didn't know that. I had Bebo in grade 5.
That's so funny. MSN?
Yes,
yes.
MSN.
Talking to your friends after school.
Sending a nudge.
Oh my gosh.
You guys remember dial-up internet?
Oh yes.
Waiting
Actually,
forever for the internet to connect, and then if my mum needed to make a phone call, I'd have to get off the internet.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that sound.
Yes, I saw that on TikTok, the sound the other day.
It's the best.
Maybe we should.
Our age.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should come up with a new app.
Yes.
Co-design with the young people.
That'd be amazing. I'd love that. Yeah, so it was like MSN and Bebo, and then it was MySpace, and then it was Facebook, and then it was Instagram, and now it seems to be TikTok is all the rage. So I'll be very interested to see in 2029 what we're all using.
Me too.
Holographics, maybe.
That'd be cool.
So the next question that we have is, what should young people of today do to help the next generation of young people to feel more involved within the community?
So I think it's kind of like asking what advice young people of today would give to young people of the future.
Yeah, as in like how would they feel more involved in the community? I read that question as how to support, like providing them more support, being more accepting of individualities and their uniqueness and things like that. And just being open to help people. Just at the end of the day, like we're all one community and we're all facing some sort of challenge, and we just kind of want to have that support network around us and that connection with one another. So I guess my answer to that would be open to help.
Yeah, be open to help. Be interested and curious in people. Celebrate each other. Rise each other up. Because it's not just about tolerating everyone. It's about actually supporting everyone. To be inclusive is to be supportive of one another, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely. And actively listening, and just, as you guys were saying, being curious and willing to learn is a big one too.
So how have you seen society improve in the last 5 years to make young people feel more included, regardless of their culture, gender, sexuality and disability and more?
I think we've seen many improvements, and then a lot of it is like a scratch of the surface, but there is definitely more awareness and education around issues concerning young people. There's definitely a bit more listening, more people that are open to learning and consulting with young people, so that whole nothing about them without them. So like using that co-design theme to develop, events and programs is something that we definitely drive in KCU services. I'm sure you can both agree.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot more events happening. Services are sort of branching out and growing to help minorities.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with the both of you. I think the exposure to all these difficulties and the history and things like that, it's people are more educated, and I agree. I definitely think I think social media, not just social media, but I definitely think like technology has been able to share that message, and that's why more people are educated about things and being more open to include everybody, because they're exposed to it. They wouldn't have thought about it if it wasn't right in front of them, because they're oblivious to the fact of what people go through and the oppression and things like that. So at the end of the day, if you don't see it or you don't talk about it, I feel like there's never going to be any change.
Yes.
Exactly. I 100% agree on the social media front, because a lot of people now can actively seek out people who share the same beliefs or are similar to them through social media. And I think that just the ability for them to not feel alone has really sort of helped them. Like people feel alone. They feel like they're the only person who's like them, and then to be able to actively seek out others who are very similar helps create that group, and then with that group gives them the confidence.
The exposure to social media, people are able to seek out those who have similar interests or identify in similar ways. Whereas if they were in that community, like a community where, I don't know, whether it be at school or their family or their social network, they don't quite connect. The ability to go out online and find someone that can connect with them, it's there. And that's why I feel like people feel a bit more included, and they're more open to be who they want to be, because people will accept them.
Yes.
But I think the message to this story is they have to accept themselves first.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, this is a really deep question.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, go Tay.
Okay. What qualifications do you need to become a youth worker?
To be a qualified youth worker, you can study a range of different things. So within our team, we've all studied a variety of different certificates, diplomas, degrees, masters and things like that. But to be a youth worker, you would need at least a Cert 4 in youth work, just to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah, our team is so varied on what we've all studied. We've all sort of studied something different, but we're all qualified youth workers, so to speak. So
yeah, I think entry level is Cert 4, I believe.
Yes, so we're in youth work. Next, and there's also like a very like being a youth worker, it's such a broad term because there's so many different types of youth workers. You know, there's youth residential care, and then there's work in youth centres like what our team does. Then there's youth support workers who have set clients. So it's just, I think it would also depend on what kind of youth worker you wanted to be, something to consider as you go into a Cert 4 in youth work.
Yes.
Yeah, and so to be a youth worker, absolutely Cert 4 in youth work. You could also study psychology, counselling, social work, community services, all that sort of thing. And that can sort of give you a bit more options as well, career-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to as well working in the youth centres, we also have a youth engagement team that go out to different schools. They run events and things like that, youth-friendly events. They run youth committees. So the world is your oyster, really. You just have to find what you're passionate about.
Exactly. And then we've got our youth counselling team as well. So you could be a youth counsellor if you wanted to be.
Many different avenues there. So our next question is, what inspired you to become a youth worker? I'll leave that to you guys to answer first.
That's a good question. I definitely think when I left school, I tried a lot of different things. So for those who can't make up their mind, try everything and anything, because at the end of the day, if you don't try it, you're never going to know. I didn't know that I wanted to be a youth worker until about 4 or 5 years after high school. It didn't even cross my mind, but I definitely knew that I wanted to do something that was going to help people and be able to be there for people. I guess that's my drive in life, is just to be that support. And then I moved to New Zealand for about 3 months, and I saw a different concept about life and things like that, and I was very grateful for what I have and things. And I guess I just wanted to kind of help young people realise their potential, that they are capable of doing anything, and I just wanted to help empower them as well.
Yeah, after high school, I studied psychology, then mental health, and then counselling before I even thought about being a youth worker. I knew I wanted to help people, and I sort of went through those studies not really knowing what cohort of people or who exactly I wanted to help. I wanted to narrow it down, and through that sort of process of studying, I eventually, I thought I wanted to be a youth counsellor, and then I started work as a youth worker, a youth services officer, as is our title, and I just fell in love with it. So I guess you could say the young people I worked with inspired me to become a youth worker.
That's really awesome. Love hearing both of your stories as to what inspired you. What inspired me was I really enjoy helping others, and when I was younger, I went through some stuff, and I think had I had a youth worker or somebody there, it would have really helped me. And so growing up and learning about what youth work is about and what the role of a youth worker can be, I really think that young people are the future. So I think investing in them and, taking the time to understand them, listen to them and, advocate for them is really important. So that's something that really inspired me. Like, I just want to help, and I think starting with young people, being that they are the future, it's just worth the investment, and it helps not only the generations to come, but also us as we get older in the future. That makes sense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, and even having this conversation, you're forever learning from each other as well, and you kind of both listening to both of you, it kind of puts things into perspective as well. So surrounding yourselves with people who have similar passions and things like that, you're forever going to learn, which is really nice.
Exactly. And working with our team and with young people, you're reminded every day of why you love being a youth worker. It's an extremely rewarding job, even on the hard days,
yes.
I would say.
I think so, and it's a lot of fun, very positive vibes, especially with our young people. I guess our next couple of questions are a little bit more Youth Information Centre related. The first one we have is, how old do you have to be to play the PlayStation games? I myself am not a gamer, so Taylor, I'm hoping you can answer this question.
This is a little bit tricky. Basically, the answer is the rating on the game is how old you have to be. So if it's M15 plus or MA15 plus, you have to be 15 plus to play that particular game. I don't believe we have any R-rated games in the centres, and we try to make it so that majority of our games are able to be played by everyone of all ages, as at least the ages of the people that are able to enter the centre. We do have some M and MA games because we do sort of cater to the needs of older young people who are 18 or older or 15 or older. But so you can be of any age to play a PlayStation game that's JPG type gaming. That's pretty much the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
You can never be too old to play a PlayStation game, though. That's a strict rule in my house.
Next question.
Oh, right, it's me now. How old do you have to be to come into the youth information centres?
You have to be 10 to 25 to come into the youth centres. We do have a lot of older brothers wanting to bring their younger brothers or sisters in, and unfortunately, we do have to wait until they turn 10.
Yeah, exactly. And our oldest age is 25, but usually we try to support young people so that by the time they turn 25 that they don't need us anymore, because that's a big part of our job, is making it so that when you're too old for the service, you don't mind because you are off doing your own thing. And as much as we will miss young people that get too old for the service, we're always happy when they're busy with work or schooling or whatever they want, whatever their next journey is.
Exactly right. And our lucky last question is, where are our centres located? Who wants to answer this one?
If you're not sick of my voice, I'll answer. So we have 4 youth centres, one in Narre Warren, It's on Webb Street, so the address is 52 Webb Street, Narre Warren. One in Cranbourne, inside the Cranbourne Park Shopping Centre, next to customer service. And then one in Hampton Park, next to the Hampton Park Library. That address is 22 to 26 Stewart Avenue, Hampton Park. And then our fourth youth centre is the bus, so it's sort of a little bit everywhere. It's wherever it has travelled to, basically.
Which you can find out on our social media pages where the bus is going to go.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to say a massive shout out to all the young people that asked us these questions, and we cannot thank you enough for putting some of these forward, because I can imagine that there are a lot of young people in the community that would love to hear some of these answers, and we are always looking to have a chat. So all of our contact details will be in the description below. If you are interested in coming to our youth centres, head over to our social media pages or our City of Casey website, and I'm sure you'll be able to see one of myself, Taryn or Taylor, and all of our other amazing youth centre staff. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and our social media accounts. Have a good day and be safe.
Take care, everyone.
See ya.